Good morning, everybody. 6:58 a.m., October 26, 2017, Eastern Time for me. I got to get to work. I know you guys hear that all the time, but guess what? It's true. Really quick with Invest 93L, we are at 30 over 2 days percent and a 40% over 5 days. So those numbers are beginning to merge together. I don't have time to get into this into detail at the moment. We are still in a northern movement. We're going to keep an eye on this thing this afternoon especially. I believe my update from last night keeps everyone up to date as far as now goes, except for that 10% rise in the 48-hour mark. I have some cool articles I want you guys to check out, pretty much all weather related. Very interesting stuff. We're dealing with CERN. We're dealing with a comet about to enter the LASCO C3 cam. And we're also talking about a skull that was found in Papua New Guinea that is said to be the earliest known death from a tsunami 6,000 years ago. So a couple interesting articles. I will link them all in the description box, and they are as follows. All right, and one of these stories is about a piece of a skull that was found a long time ago. This was in Papua New Guinea. And what they finally discovered is that this 6,000-year-old skull right here is the earliest known victim of a tsunami. Now, where they found it was way above sea level. You can go ahead and read this article. I'll link it in the description box. It was far away from the coast, but what they determined was that the sea levels were much higher then, and they have determined that this is our first tsunami victim. And we talk about tsunamis here on this channel sometimes as far as earthquakes go or something falling into the water. A comet or an asteroid could cause a tsunami, believe it or not, hitting the water. Depending on where it hits, that wave will spread out and it will cause major damage in a lot of different places. We had a major tsunami 10, 12 years ago that killed 250,000 people, guys. You can watch videos on that all over YouTube. It's happened before, it will happen again, but as of right now, this is the earliest known victim. They've determined this piece of skull, 6,000 years old, in Papua New Guinea is the earliest known tsunami victim. So weather related in a way. We also have a new release from CERN, believe it or not. Michio Kaku here, our mainstream scientist that likes to explain everything to us in simple terms, believes that we should not exist because of the equal amounts of matter and antimatter that CERN is discovering. So they're basically saying that if there's the same amount of antimatter as there is matter, we shouldn't exist, because if antimatter and matter touch each other, it's like this massive type of explosion. I guess like if you held a bit of antimatter the size of a rock in your hand and you touched it with the same amount of real matter, it could blow up an area as big as New York City, Connecticut, and New Jersey put together. I don't know how much of this is true. I have not dug into CERN that much. I know there's a lot of conspiracy theories around CERN about what their true what they're really trying to do there at CERN, opening portals to deal with the antimatter, but interesting article and video nonetheless. We also have a comet. Actually, you know what? I'm going to talk about this comet in a minute. We have a second death related to a flesh-eating disease from Hurricane Harvey. Now, I don't know if you guys know the channel Mary Greeley, but she covered this very extensively. A woman had passed away because of a flesh-eating disease because of the water, the floodwaters and the pollution, I guess, in the water caused by Hurricane Harvey. Again, I haven't dug into this article. I was just picking some stuff out I figured would be interesting to you guys to make up for the fact that I don't have a long video right now. I do have a long update from last night that should keep you guys at least up to date until this afternoon, where we can look at Invest again. But this article is very interesting. 31-year-old man. He was hospitalized first on the 10th. He was seriously infected at that point from a wound. I guess the open wound is what allowed this infection to get in, and it took 6 days for this guy to die. That's it. Now, I don't know how much truth to this story there is. Again, these are mainstream articles. I'm aware that mainstream is mainstream, but nonetheless, guys, this is Hurricane Harvey related, and from what I know, this is the second death related to a flesh-eating disease caused by Hurricane Harvey floodwaters. So just unbelievable stuff. And finally, we have a comet. This comet is actually a reappearing comet. We have the Wikipedia page here, Macholz 96P. Okay, and we're also watching 93L, so just space weather related basically is what I'm trying to bring up here. And this comet was discovered in 1986, May 12th, and it has a repeating orbit, 5.2 years, I believe. Yeah, here we go. Every 5.2 years, this thing enters frame on our LASCO C3 cam. It's caught it 5 times already since the camera was released in orbit with the Earth. So we've seen this thing a few times. There are some videos and images of it from past passes. I guess the last one right here, July 14th, 2012, was the last time this comet got closest to the sun, and now we can expect it to happen on October 27th, 2017. Now I have the LASCO C3 cam pulled up. This is our live view. This is current time, and you can see, if you look right down in this area, the comet is just entering frame now. So we're going to be able to watch this thing for about 5, 6, 7 days shoot across here, and it's going to get brighter and brighter and brighter until it wraps around the sun and then goes back into orbit. It's not expected to hit the sun. It's not expected to hit us. So we will say hello to this thing and probably goodbye without any issues, but there it is in the bottom right corner here, making its entrance into the LASCO C3 frame. Very cool stuff, guys. Wait till this thing gets about right here. It's going to have a long, long tail. It's going to be very, very bright, very big comet. It's going to look almost like Comet Ison when that passed. It was a very big, dramatic comet that went through the sun and then got destroyed during its wrap around the sun. Alright, and that's going to be it for this morning, guys. I hate to rush, but I got to get to work. I can't be late so many days in a row. We will be back this afternoon with a full update on Invest 93L and what it's going to do, and some other interesting stuff. So I will talk to you guys all in a bit. Check out Instagram and Twitter throughout the day for any updates I may post. Alright, guys, have a great morning. Bye-bye.